Welcome back to this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be tackling the factors that affect your hair growth cycle. So many factors that affect and that determines how long and how fast your hair can grow. So we have six main factors, and these factors will determine your hair growth rate. So they are genetics, time, health, age, your diet, and the weather. So I'm going to be diving into each in more detail in this lesson. So the first that I'm going to be looking at will be your genetics because this is the most important factor. So what do I mean by genetics? So as we can see from this hair growth cycle here, right? It says 2 to 6 years. So this is all determined by your genetics, right? So just in case you can grow your hair long, that means your this phase here, the active growth phase, will last up to 6 years. But if your genetics says that this active phase can only last for like 3 years, 4 years, then then that's pretty much all you can get, right? So if you notice that your hair grows very slowly, which for me my hair grows very slow. So what you can do to grow your hair long will be to focus on length retention, right? Because there isn't really much you can do to change this phase because it's something that has been passed down to you from multiple generations. So the next factor will be time. So I just posted this image right here. So obviously you're gonna need to give your hair some time to grow. Like your hair isn't just gonna grow overnight. So even though your hair it's always growing, as you can see from the hair growth cycle, right? Your hair grows 24/7, it grows every single day, but it only grows for like a little bit at a time, right? So you need to give it some time to so you can actually see a difference in length. So for me, I recommend tracking your hair growth rate every month, right? Just to see, if your length is the same or if it's growing or, because you want to make sure that you are going in the right direction, right? So you can track your length by measuring it with a tape measure, ruler, or whatnot, depending on how long your hair is. Next factor, the third factor, it's also very important, and that's your health. If your body, one thing you have to realize is that if your body isn't getting enough nutrients, right? Because you are sick, you are under a lot of stress, depression, right? That's gonna slow down your hair growth cycle, right? And you might even start to notice more shedding, breakage, and thinning hair, right? So what I always recommend is to get enough exercise so you can go for walks, get enough sleep because your hair, I'm going to talk about that very shortly. Your hair grows at night, right? So you want to make sure that you are getting enough sleep. You can do some meditation, yoga, right? So your mental health is healthy, right? And if possible, just get out of the stressful situation that you are in right now, right? Because you want to make sure that your body is in a healthy state. And this is really important for us ladies because our hair, it's known as our crown and glory. And that's why we spend so much time on hair products, salon, anything that has to do with the hair accessories, hair extensions, right? Because our hair, it's one of the first things that people see, and sometimes if it doesn't look good, then that's gonna affect how you feel about yourself, right? So you want to make sure that you are healthy. Now, for those who are taking a prescription medication, right? What you can do will be to talk to your doctor about finding a prescription medicine that's not gonna bring you a lot of side effects, right? Because as we know, like most of the drugs out there, they have a lot of side effects. For some drugs, more side effects than what they are supposed to do. Or you can also seek a more natural alternative, right? So you can go to a holistic practitioner, right, to get something more natural, right? Herbs, some foods, fruit items, vegetables that you can eat to make sure that you're healthy. Now, finally, in terms of health, so for naturalists who are pregnant, right? So your hair growth cycle will be different, right? And the reason for that is mainly because of your hormones, right? It's very different from somebody who isn't pregnant, right? So what might happen is that after giving birth, you might experience a lot more shedding. And the reason for that is because your hair would hold on, right, to the hair that was supposed to shed off. So let me just go back to the hair growth cycle here. So what's going to happen is that while you are pregnant, right, your hair will stay um, in this phase, right? Your hair will just stay in the telogen phase. And then when you give birth, right, then, your hormones can start to come back to normal. And then the hair that has been stuck here for months and months, because here it says telogen lasts up to 4 months, right? 2 to 4 months. But obviously, most women are pregnant for 9 months. So this stage can go up to 9 months. And then afterwards, when you give birth, then the hair will all come over to the exogen stage, right? And so that's why sometimes after giving birth, you might notice a lot of shedding than usual.